Good morning. Welcome. It is 9:02. I'd like to call this meeting of the Animal Services Center of the Mesilla Valley to order. Becky, could we, if you all would join me in stating the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Becky, if you could help in determining we have quorum, please.
Don't you need it? Nope. Yes. Mary Lou Ward.
Present.
Board Member Enriquez. Absent. Board Member Macias. Absent. Board Member Flores. Present. Thank you. Board Member Ellens. Here. Board Member Gandara. Absent. Board Member Sanchez. Absent. Chair Curran.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second by Flores.
It has been moved by Board Member Ellens and seconded by Board Member Flores. Becky, if, any amendments? Seeing none, if we could vote on the agenda, please.
Board Member Ward.
Yes.
Board Member Flores.
Yes.
Board Member Ellens.
Yes.
Chair Curran.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have an extra agenda? My printer wasn't working.
I have, yeah, I would like to keep mine, actually.
Yeah, I think you need.
Okay. Thank you, Clint. All right, next up, I'm going to read the closed meeting statement. The Animal Services Center of the Mesilla Valley Board of Directors met in closed session at 10 a.m. on October 3rd, 2022. The following members were in attendance: Board members Macias, Flores, Gandara, Ellens, Ward, Corin. Others in attendance included ASCMV staff, Bernice Navarro and Clint Thacker, and attorney Ben Young. The meeting adjourned at 11:17 a.m. And so I'm going to read this into the record. The Animal Services Center of the Mesilla Valley met in closed session and only discussed those limited items as stated in the posted notice.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we waive the reading of the minutes.
Oh, that we waive.
It was a closed session.
It was a closed session, so there isn't any. I just had to read the statement.
These are the closed session meetings.
Yeah, there aren't any minutes. It's just a notice that we had a closed session. Yeah, and we do have to read that. So, but I don't think we have to have it approved. It's just a matter of reading it into the record, right? Thank you. Next up, we are getting around to the minutes from the regular ASCMV board meeting, and I will note that Board Member Enriquez and Board Member Sanchez have joined us. So, good morning. The minutes, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting on September 22nd, 2022.
So moved by Flores.
Second.
It's been moved by Board Member Flores and seconded by Board Member Ellens. Any amendments? And just as an amendment of note that was already made in the intervening time in the second read, in the third paragraph of reports and presentations, the document that was distributed says Officer Wheeler, but it's actually Officer Wiedela from City ACOs. So just as a note, it's already been amended in these official ones that we've sent out. So I would entertain a motion to approve, or we already had a motion to approve. If we can just vote on that, please.
Board Member Flores.
Yes.
Board Member Ellens.
Yes.
Board Member Sanchez.
Yes.
Chair Curran.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Next up, we'll start with reports and presentations. We have Jean Gilbert here to present the Coalition for Pets and People on behalf of Broken Promises. So Jean, thank you for presenting for Broken Promises this morning.
Thank you, Bernice. How are you? Good. Thank you.
And if you can just state your name for the record when you speak.
Good morning. I'm Jean Gilbert, Secretary, Coalition for Pets and People. Thank. and then I just do the arrows. Yes, as Becky was stating, this presentation is about Broken Promises Southwest. And here is their info, contact info on this slide. They're a nonprofit organization, and they were established here in Las Cruces in 2010. They humanely address community cat overpopulation issues through TNR, trap, neuter, return. They operate a small sanctuary for felines and other animals at their sanctuary on the East Mesa, include a small number of birds like pigeons, doves, hens, and they do have a rooster too. And these animals were injured or have special needs which make them unreleasable. Broken Promises Southwest Board of Directors also includes a member who does TNR work in Alamogordo and is a resource for that area. All services of Broken Promises are provided free of charge, so the organization does rely heavily on donations as a primary source of their funding. From 2014 to present, Broken Promises Southwest has TNR'd 1,961 cats, which is an average of 217 per year. To date, for this year, they've TNR'd 165 cats. And the only thing that's really holding them up or slowing them down is the availability of spay-neuter appointments. They would be doing a lot more if there was greater availability. And as you can see by this slide here, that their work in TNRing this particular colony is complete. It took them over a year and a half to do that. So, okay, Garfield received medical treatment after being trapped because he was too sick for neuter surgery. And after a week's recovery time, he was ready to be fixed and released back to his colony. While Broken Promises prefers not to hold ferals for a lengthy period, they do make provisions when it's necessary so they don't put the animal's life at risk. Little Fluff, pictured here, was challenging in trapping, but they finally met success after weeks of trying. And I want to insert here that Joe has been helping me. I've been in a position that I've been able to TNR my colony of 6 cats, and 5 are now at my home. But there's still one, and we have been working on that one for a very long time. And Joe uses a drop trap, so he's a lot more equipped than most people. But so I'm just saying it can be very challenging. Speaking of Joe Mealy, who's on the board of directors with Broken Promises, he led a TNR workshop on the Unitarian campus on September the 11th. There were 22 attendees, and that also included me. All of us learned the proper way to TNR and how to feed and maintain a colony of cats. During the TNR workshop, Joe, who's pictured here, showed videos. That was part of his presentation. And it included one here. He's working with another person, and they're using a drop trap. And then now they're covering it, as you can see on the video there. Other video information in the workshop included TNR facts and tips from Alley Cat Allies, which is a national organization that's dedicated to life-saving work for community cats. Broken Promises has found homes for 27 cats so far this year. Most are adopted through their cattery, which is where these people are pictured with their the animals that cats that they've adopted. And Broken Promises has been managing the cattery there through PetSmart Charities for quite some time now. And since 2010, Broken Promises has adopted approximately 330 cats. Zephyr pictured here is from an Alamogordo colony and went back to her outdoor home after being spayed, vaccinated, chipped, and ear-tipped. And Bob, the other cat, the ginger cat pictured here, is very lucky to be alive. His caregiver saw him struggling to walk and assumed he was either hit by a car or had injured his legs in some way. And so Broken Promises was able to trap and get him to a veterinarian right away, where diagnostics showed that he had a serious urinary tract infection. And so after surgery and fluid therapy, he was able to be returned to his colony. Brandy came from the Animal Services Center where she had been brought in after being hit by a car. Her hip and leg were shattered, but she underwent successful surgery to repair the damage. And since then, she's had her sutures removed and is healing well, requiring some cage rest, which will help her heal before she has another medical evaluation. After that, Broken Promises is hopeful to put her up for adoption. And the other cat pictured here is Broken Promises received a message from the Animal Services Center asking if they could accept a feral mom and her 3-day-old babies pictured here. And luckily, they did have a cage available and were able to accept them. And mom will be spayed and fully vetted, and the kittens, once they're old enough, of course, will go through the process, but Broken Promises hopes to be able to put them up for adoption as well. And that completes the presentation on Broken Promises. So thank you for your attention. If anyone has any questions for me.
Thank you so much for presenting, Jean. We really appreciate it, and it's good to see you. Are there any questions from the board? Board Member Flores.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Jean, Ms. Gilbert, for your presentation. You said that there were spay neuters, and then you said there would be more if there was availability. Is that availability of availability of funds, doctors?
You know, it's my understanding, and I know Kelly Barker has really thoroughly explored it and still trying to get a veterinarian here to Las Cruces. According to her research, New Mexico is 70,000 veterinarians short. Yeah, that's what I remember her saying, unless I'm off by a digit. But we're short nationwide veterinarians. And so that's not only our problem here, but it's my understanding we've actually lost ground here in Las Cruces in terms of availability of veterinarians. So,
We've lost grants?
well, the ground, I'm saying.
Oh,
We
ground.
just don't have the services.
Wow. Thank you.
And I know Clint could probably speak to that too. So I know ASCMV's been trying for a very long time to add to their staff too, so.
So we're 70,000?
Veterinarians short in the state of New
That's
Mexico.
almost inconceivable.
Well, maybe it's nationwide, I don't know. Something to Google.
I mean,
Don't quote me, but it's a pretty serious shortage nationwide.
thank you, thank you.
Any
Thank
other
you, Madam Chair.
questions? Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Jean. Hearing none, next up we will hear from the city and county ACOs, so I look to you all to see. All right, hear from the county first. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Madam Chair and councilmen and women. I'm Brian Halsey. I'm the caseworker for Donana County Animal Control, and I'm here to report September 2022 monthly report. For September, we had 279 reported stray animals. We picked up 205, which was a pretty good number for us for how many animals that were reported strays. Especially since the county is so big, that's usually a pretty good number for us if we could reach close to that amount. We picked up 70 stray cats and 135 stray dogs. We had 10 sick or injured animals, 3 of which were cats and 7 were dogs. And we had 17 owner-surrendered dogs for September. Here's our reported stray call comparison for the last 4 years. This is our 4-year field return to owner comparison. So if our officers are in the field and they're able to find the owner and return it, this is where this is for. We had a pretty good number this month compared to last month. And these are our additional animals that we picked up. Again, we had no owner surrendered cats. We had 17 owner surrendered dogs. We had 10 sick or injured animals. We had 8 welfare hold animals, and that's, again, if an MSU or a sheriff unit or a state police unit, they pull someone over and they need us to pick up the animal. That's usually what those are for. We had 3 shelter quarantines. We had 4 home quarantines. We had 1 court hold case come to us with 1 dog. We currently have 7 dogs that are in the process of court, and we had 1 rabies submission which came back negative. These are our districts, just as a reminder for you guys. And then these are the animals picked up by district. So in District 1, we only had 1 dog. District 2, we had 18 cats and 13 dogs. District 3, we had 10 cats and 29 dogs. District 4, we had 28 cats and 34 dogs. District 5, we had 4 cats and 13 dogs. District 6, we had 9 cats and 12 dogs. And District 7, we had 1 cat and 33 dogs. Just as a quick note, just in case it came up for anybody, we had a lot more dogs picked up in September than cats. Usually it's our cats that people end up trapping that we have the high numbers on, but for September, for some reason, it was reversed. We had a lot more dogs picked up. These are stray cats picked up by district. And these are the dogs. And these are our reasons for owner release of the animals. We had 2 that the owner just couldn't keep the dogs on the property, and they didn't want to end up getting in trouble with us or anybody else, so they just owner surrendered them. We had 8 vicious or livestock attack animals. We had 2 that were sick or old, and we had 5 that were aggressive. And for that, I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Brian. Any questions from the board? Board Member Sanchez, please.
Thank you. Officer Halsey, I think just a quick question. I know when you look at the numbers by the geo districts, do we have anything in the county that is similar to the way the city does by having actual location on a map that we can see? I know that they use like a GIS map to identify where all of their where they're picking up all of their strays. And I'm just curious because, I know the one thing that stuck out to me is something you had said, which is absolutely true, where the number of strays versus the number of calls that we get, or the number of pickups that you get versus the number of calls is, can vary, because by the time the call comes in, you all get out there, they're gone. So I was just curious though, if there's any way to get an idea of where the calls are coming from, and then the actual pickups coming from, and are we seeing specific areas? I know you're looking by geo district, but actual blocks or residences that we're seeing repeat offenders or numerous calls. And the reason I ask is because when I've had my meetings in the district, and I know the last one that I had was in Rincon, and this was a hot topic, right? Which Officer Armendariz can attest to. And so we're trying to figure out, I guess, are we having issues with specific residents, specific areas, and then what can we do to target those areas? Because when I look at the number of calls that have come across year over year over the year, it seems consistent. So how do we, well, the calls are good because people are reporting it, but how do we get that number to come down?
Right. So as far as that goes, I know that there's probably a way that we can get that with the GIS system, but we'd have to work with the rest of the county to get that set up, see if it's possible, because honestly, I don't know if it's 100% possible, but I could look into that for you. And then as far as districts, usually when we go to districts, if we have hot spots,
we can get it set up with them.
Sorry. So if we have districts and if we have areas that we are known problem areas, when our officers get a chance, we usually try to patrol those areas to try to minimize and educate and try to get those areas set up to where they're not those areas anymore. And then for us as well, we just had our ordinances go between BOCC, and we had some stuff placed in that to help with that as well.
Correct, yeah. And that's why I'm kind of curious, like I said, with this push with the new ordinance that we just approved, how do we get smarter? Because I know the team is working very hard to make sure they're servicing the county, but the resources are strained as it is. So how do we get smarter in where we're going? And, maybe also with the ability, or when we're lending out cages or traps, is there a way that we can make sure that people are getting the traps in location so that maybe, we have those there, the residents can help us with identifying or capturing some of these animals, so that way they don't disappear, and we're getting calls coming back to the same location. We don't see the animal, and we just keep getting those calls back. And then you've got an officer that has to keep driving all the way out to the various parts of the county. So
right, and you're correct. We have started a pilot program. We're still working on getting it finalized for people that if they need a dog trap or a cat trap due to a pack of dogs running that area or something like that, that they could come to our office, pick up a trap, they sign for it, and then they have so long to bring it back, things like that, to help out with that. So that way, if for some reason, our officers don't have a trap due to whatever issues we have, just because we only have so many traps available and everyone wants one. So we're trying different methods to try to help out with that as well.
And I'd be curious, Mr. Macias, if with the utilization of our community resource centers, maybe that's something that we could look to have maybe some traps that are set up locally that maybe even the HHS department might be able to, check those in and out locally within those communities so that we don't have to have the residents or our ACOs go out there and have to provide those traps.
I would think that we would want to stay with the ACOs because they can provide the training and the utilization of the traps rather than our HHS employees who, may not have that background. But I would think that we would want to work with the community. And I know that we do go into the communities. I know that we go door to door in some of the communities explaining the opportunities for spay and neuter and who to call when there are loose animals. If with the chair's permission, if I could have Mary Lou talk a little bit about how we track repeat problems within each of the communities.
Please, thank you.
Chair, thank you. In regards to the mapping, just to go over that real quick, that is something we definitely can get with our GIS on that and set up a mapping system in regards to that. In our repeat offenders, currently we have a system in place where we keep track of animal owners who are neglect and don't comply with the laws, where we will address them, educate them, and either give them a citation, give them a warning, or, go through the progressive process as you would with any person where it initiates with an animal problem. That's what we initially would do. We keep that system in our shared drive, which is something that's accessible to all the animal control officers when they're out in the field, and they can access it through their laptops, their tough books. In regards to that, they can go to a property, look at that property and see whether we've had an incident already, or they can also look at it through the 911 system and look at the past notes from that officer, as well as I can, and see what those past notes are and see what the incident was, or how many times we have been out there, and see what has happened with that location, and whether we have charged that individual or whether that individual is just letting that animal run loose. And we've charged them in court already. That's why we have found that we needed something stricter in place, and we've implemented that in the new ordinance now, to hopefully that'll help us go a little bit further in regards to that.
Great, thank you, appreciate it, Ms. Ward. And and the reason, I think what I just want to see is how do we, I think, like I said, because that's always the hot topic, right? It's usually animals and trash are the big ones that I hear from. And I know that's where we have these events out, we had one in Rincon, now we're going to have one in Garfield. And so I know you guys are doing, we're out there in the community. I'm just trying to see, is there anything else that we can do or might work a little bit more efficiently that might help us? So, whatever you all come up with, and I think, especially with the new ordinances, I think there's a lot of opportunity out there, and if we can, maybe look at even some new projects or new ways of working, I'd really appreciate it, and you have my support for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and in addition to that, in regards to the traps, we did implement the new trap system, where the officers do go out and they do loan out traps for problematic or vicious and or dangerous or animal bites, things like that, where we really need to capture that individual animal. And once those traps are not available to that officer, and they can't, say they're on their truck and they've already given out all their traps, and they have to go out to something else, they can offer to that individual to come into the office and pick up a trap themselves. And then we'll be in that office, and then they'll alert us. We'll have that trap ready for that individual with that type of trap that they need, so that they can come by and pick it up from us, and they can still have that service available to them.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ward, appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Macias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Sanchez. Board Member Macias, you're good? Okay, just making sure. Thank you. Board Member Flores, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Brian. You mentioned that, or you showed on a slide that there are, I think, 7 animals that are being held pending a court. Yeah. Oh, there's one court. No. Maybe I saw the 7, but so when there are court cases pending, it's for neglect, I presume, or abuse. What happens in court? Which court is it? I mean, I don't know anything about that.
Yes,
It's magistrate?
I could clarify that for you. So right now, if we have any case that is a cruelty, a livestock attack, a bite, neglect, there could be several different reasons why we have the animals at our court hold, but usually those are cases that we have to do a petition on. We get warrants to hold those animals at our court hold facility. Sometimes those cases could be done within a matter of 2 weeks. Sometimes we have a case for 4 of those dogs right now that have been going since April.
Wow.
And their next court isn't until December. So some cases are going to be there for a while. It just depends on what's going on. So that's why we're just giving the numbers as of right now. And then the hold quarantine case that you see there, that's the one. That's just a new case that we had that was brought in for that month for whatever reason it was. I believe that one was for a livestock attack.
So what happens to the owners in the meantime? I mean, do you ever get enough evidence just to hold the the defendant in this case? I mean, like a severe abuse or something? Has an owner ever been held in jail pending the outcome?
Madam Chair, with your permission, let me address that. I don't believe that certainly bond levels and release is more the norm for that kind of charge. Have people gone to jail? Have they been punished for animal abuse? Certainly. And some of these cases that may take longer, it's because they're at a felony level at the district court, and you're dealing with those issues. I wasn't aware that we had one that long. I think that we need to perhaps be more aggressive in having the district court address that particular issue. So I don't think that it's the norm to have individuals stay in jail pending their cases, but there certainly are cases where individuals have been incarcerated for different periods of time because of being found guilty of those particular charges.
Thank you, Mr. Macias. Yeah, because I think that if, I think there should be a lot of education or publicity about that to let owners know that they are accountable for the welfare of their pet or their animal. And if, I think that there should be a lot of publicity on that, because I think there's more than we realize. I mean, can identify.
Yes, and I can attest for myself, when I was an officer out in the field, usually if I dealt with someone and I gave them a warning and I had to end up going back, I would at that point let them know, hey, at this point, you're looking at this, this, and this. These are your possible outcomes if this persists. I prefer it not to go that route. However, these could be outcomes for that. So, I mean, education is always involved when we go and talk to owners, because we'd rather have compliance than non-compliance, because then that makes it more for us, because then we have to go to court and everything instead of being out in the field and helping people out with their animals. So we'd always prefer compliance if we could get it. So. And
then do you follow up?
Yes, we follow up as much as we can, and it depends. Sometimes we could talk to the person right then and there and let them know, and it's good to go. Sometimes we have people that just don't really care or think that, oh, you're just a dog catcher, nothing's going to happen. So usually they end up finding out when they end up getting a summons for court. So, and then we go that route. So, but like I said, we try not to go that route unless we have to. But I mean, we always try to get compliance and education first.
Great. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you both. Any other questions? Thank you very much, Officer Halsey. Next up, good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Gino Jimenez. I'm the Animal Control Supervisor for the City of Las Cruces. I will present to you our September 22 monthly report. For the month of September, we responded to 517 reported strays. Of those, 312 were GOA, meaning that the officer did not have contact with that animal. We were able to apprehend 205 strays. Of those, 179 were impounded at the Animal Service Center, 104 were dogs, and 75 were cats. We were successful in field RTOing 26 animals back to their owner, and those are animals that never crossed the threshold of the Animal Service Center. We were unsuccessful in field RTOing 20. Those were animals that had some sort of identification, but for some reason were not able to be returned to their owner out in the field. So that gave us a grand total of 46 identifiable animals. Here is our reported stray graph. You can see again that for September we had 517, bringing us to a total of 4237 for the year. If we keep with this trend, it looks like we will be right within our average or a little bit low, hopefully below. Next is our 3-year field RTO. Again, for September, we had 26, bringing us to a grand total of 396 for the year. Big drop since July. Typically, that happens during this time of the year. As you can see from the last 2 years, we take a slight increase in October, but then it comes our winter months, where our field RTO rate is going to go down again. Here is our latest slide for the community cat program. We were able to, we captured 39 animals in traps. Of those, 21 were released right where they were captured or in that vicinity. So for the cats and traps total, we had 417 for the year, and we were able to release 81 of those. Reasons for owner surrendering animals: we had 8 for the owners that were no longer able to afford them. 5 from one owner, he was going to be put into assisted living and could no longer take care of himself or the cats. 3 dogs for aggression, 2 towards a toddler, and 1 towards the owner. 2 dogs the landlord would not allow on his property, the new landlord, I should say. 1 dog was unable to rehome, and it does not get along with his roommate's dog. 1 dog, the owner was arrested. The mom owner released it due to its age and health. 1 dog, it killed the owner's other dog. And finally, 1 cat for erratic or aggressive behavior. The reasons that we were unable to field RTO: 15 was no contact by phone or at residence. 1 was a Texas address, 1 was an El Paso address, and 1 was a California address. 1 chip was not updated. 1, the owner was contacted, but they were out of town. The other, next one is the owner lives in El Paso. Finally, or the next one is the owner was contacted and said that they would pick it up from the ASCMV. And 1 chip was not registered. And finally, the microchip company would not give the owner's information, but they would email the owner to let them know that the dog was at the Animal Service Center. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions from the board?
Thank you,
Please,
Madam.
Board Member Flores.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Gino. You didn't show us a picture of the distribution that Manny referred to.
Madam Chair, Board Member Flores, we stopped at, I believe, almost a year now.
Really? And I haven't noticed? Where have I been?
That was the stray chart?
Yes.
Yes. We stopped that about a year ago. The reason being is manpower issues. I was really, as it is currently, I only have 4 officers out in the field. And at the time, we also lost our 2 office assistants whose primary job was
to do that.
to input that information. That map would take almost a week and a half to 2 weeks to input all the numbers. So once they weren't there, that came on me to try to do my other duties as well as input that map, and it was decided that we wouldn't do that anymore.
Gino, perhaps this is outside of your range of knowledge and perhaps outside of my job, but those positions that are empty, are they being filled again? Do you know? Are they open, or were they positions just don't exist anymore? Or do you know anything about that?
Madam Chair, Board Member Flores, we were able to fill 1 of those positions. We had 2 office assistants. They were both assigned to animal control and codes. 1 position was filled. The other one was dissolved, and that office assistant went to a different department within, a different section within the police department.
Thank you, Gino. Thank you,
You're
Madam
welcome.
Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Flores. Thank you again, Gino. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Moving on. Good morning, Clint. Please.
Good morning. Clint Thacker, Executive Director at the Animal Service Center in Mesilla Valley, here to talk to you about our September numbers for the center. So our current animal count here at the Animal Center is 506 animals. As you can see, this continues to creep up to the pre-pandemic numbers. You'll see also in this presentation that I believe we're almost there. Numbers are very high and can continue to increase. We have 457 dogs come in the month of September and 327 cats come in. You look at our current intake for 2022 for the month of September was 798, almost 800 animals came in. Our returns, and these are animals that left the center, adopted, and was returned. We had 3 dogs and 0 cats. Diverted intakes, these are animals that came to the center or somebody called us with an animal, and then we do all we can to divert them leaving the animal there. For instance, dogs, they may say, I can't afford this dog anymore, I can't afford food. We'll say, well, we can give you a bag of food, would that help you through the month? They say, oh yeah, that'd be great. They could also be saying, I have to have vaccines, I can't do it. Well, we offer that vaccine, just anything we can do to keep the animal with the individual. So in September, we had a total of 222. Another one is if a stray comes in, a person found a stray, we'll scan it, has a microchip, we'll call the owners come and get the animal. So that's a diverted intake as well. These are our outcomes. So all the numbers that you just saw, these are how they left. 19% left as adoptions, 14% left as reclaims, 15% as rescues, 11.5 community cats, 30% was euthanasia. So it leaves us with a live release rate of 66.3. Live release rate is the percentage of the animals that came into the center, how many of them left alive. Our goal is always 90%. That's the mark we want to hit because that means that that qualifies us as a no-kill facility. So some of the ones I want to point out really quick is the rescues. We had significantly less rescues. Rescues are full. We are reaching out. I know this month, in the month of October, we've sent animals to Indiana, Kansas. Of course, locally here, and you'll see in the next slide the ones where we've done, but we're reaching out and trying to get these animals out the best that we can. But rescues are full. It's continuing to see that same trend. These are our transfer partners in September. As you can see, Action Program for Animals is always a big one for us, and they're local. We appreciate everything that they do for us. 13 cats and 1 dog. Front Range Freedom Rescue. This is actually an interesting one. They are based in Colorado, and they take cats. The reason why they're taking so many cats is because we received a grant that allows us to, the basis of the grant is it's extra veterinarian work. So if we go to a like Front Range and we say, will you take cats? And they say, no, we're full, we can't move them very fast. And we say, well, can you take cats if we sterilize them? And they say, yeah, we can move cats if they're already sterilized. So that's what that grant pays for, is that extra veterinarian work. So that's been very useful to move a lot of animals, because we'll always ask that. We'll say, will you take another one if it's sterilized? You take another one if this has been repaired or this surgery's done. And if they say yes, then that grant pays for that extra veterinarian work. These are euthanasia reasons. Again, the number one, medical failure to thrive. That is generally kittens that come to us. Generally, these kittens that come are in pretty sad shape. People don't understand and don't know that they can't be away from the mother for that long. Usually it's overnight. Every 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, are supposed to be fed. And so people just don't know that. So when we get them, they're past the point of helping them, so we euthanize as a failure to thrive. The second one is space medical. What that means is we go, once we're at space critical, and that depends all on the number of animals that come in that day, the first place we look is medical. for that space. These are animals that would generally stay if we have the room and continue to treat, but these ones are like not responding to treatment, really, really super sick, contagious of others are these types of animals. But the only reason why we're looking at them is for space, but they're not healthy adoptable animals. These are our surgeries. This is a phenomenal number when you consider our surgery department had a little bout with COVID that they shared amongst themselves. They still were able to do 404 surgeries. The other that you see there, 117, that's just other surgeries. And it could be anything from fixing sterilization to or complications to amputations, anything of that nature. So total visitors at the center went down a little bit to 1,573 for the month of September. So we changed this slide up a little bit so it tells a little of a better story. If you remember, it used to be just a number. These are adoptions by appointment. So we have two types of adoptions. One, you see an animal you like online, you call and make an appointment, and you come in and see it. The other type that you'll see the next slide is walk-ins, people that are interested. So we had 56 appointments 98 appointments that were made, and 4 was canceled or no-show. So that left us with, there's 56 adoptions from those. So roughly 57% of our appointments made resulted in an adoption. When you compare it to walk-ins, we had 307 groups. That's not people, that's groups. So husband, wife, friends. There may be 3 of them, but we only count it as 1. And that also resulted in 56 adoptions, but it's only 18%. So we do know that the better or more exact way to go about doing it is via adoptions, but we're keeping both of these options open because that is another 56 adoptions we were able to get out of that. Our volunteers doing an amazing job. Total hours were 683. And one of the presentations you're going to hear today is from our volunteer coordinator. And she's going to talk to us about the volunteer program, what it happens or what it takes to be a volunteer, some training you get, and also some changes in the volunteer program that they've made. In the month of October, I can tell you it was amazing. They walked, and they also did it in September, they walked every single dog, available dog in the center was able to get out, so that's pretty incredible. Our web page views, 35,656. Again, people who are watching, those are not unique hits, it's a page that's viewed. So if you view a dog on a page, that's 1. If you click backwards to see the whole list of dogs, that's another view, and then you click on another dog, that's another view. So our Facebook hit 2,935, and we expect that to be going up in October with a lot of our specials and announcements that we're doing. For instance, we have a big announcement coming up on December 4th, right? Okay, December 4th is our drive-through clinic we're going to be having. So another big one at the Field of Dreams. We're excited for that one. But you're going to see a lot of drive on Facebook for that. And these are our pets of the week, Leo and Callie. I'll stand for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Clint. Board Member Ellens, please.
The program, I don't recall whether it's direct or indirect, but where you tell the animal owner that you give him the food, give her the vaccination. What's the cost of that on an annualized basis?
The food is actually food that's donated to us. It's generally what we try to give them. So that's no cost to us. And the vaccines are very nominal. I want to say it's like around $2 or $3 per vaccine. We've never looked at the cost that it is, to do the whole thing, but I can tell you that it's much more inexpensive to do that than it is to have the animal at our facility with staff caring for it and utilizing cage space, and it also saving an animal's life.
Is that a line item budget?
No, it is not.
Because I don't recall ever seeing it. What's the quality of the food that you receive?
It could be anything. Like very rarely do people buy and just bring it to us. Usually it's their dog passed away, so they gave it to us, or their dog won't eat it, so they give it to us. But we do occasionally get donations of whole bags, and it's satisfactory.
Because quality of dog food varies dramatically. Do you basically get low quality?
I wouldn't say no. No. I'm going to just say no.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Ellen. Board Member Sanchez, please.
Hi, Clint. All right, so just two simple questions, at least I think simple.
Oh, sure.
The
It's going to be math, sure.
The diverted intake numbers, do those count at all to the intakes, or are those completely separate?
Don't count as intakes.
Okay. And then the live release rate do we have one year to date?
We do not.
Okay. And the reason I ask is because, there was huge numbers that we got here in September. And so, I was just wondering, obviously you had a lot of euthanizations that happened this last month, and that can sway the number. So I was just curious to see where we're at year to date. Just as I know, like I said, I know we always want to target the 90%. But like I said, it doesn't have to be here in the meeting if you don't have it, but I'd just be curious just to know where we're at.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? All right. Thank you, Clint, for again making an untenable situation as tenable as possible, given the intake rates. All right. Thank you. Next up, I think we're going to hear from Vanessa. Come on up. Good morning. We're looking forward to hearing from you. If you can just state your name for the board and share with us some updates to the foster program.
Okay. I'm Vanessa Chastain. I'm the foster coordinator here at Animal Service Center. Okay. All right. So I'll go over the foster program today, and sorry, is that better? Okay. So why fostering benefits animals? It helps keep the animals happy, healthy, less stressed, provides opportunities for the animals to get adopted and sent to rescue. Also, it's utilizing our foster homes will increase the capacity of our center, allowing us continuing to reduce euthanasia. So as soon as one animal leaves into foster, that opens another space for another animal to be intaked. All right. Who's eligible to become a foster parent? Anyone that's over 18 years of age, willing to provide a safe, loving, and stable environment for a foster home. Anyone that's able to nurse or any injury or willing to take care of an animal that has an illness, and understanding that not all outcomes are always positive, and able to bring the animals back and forth to Animal Service Center for appointments and adoption events. And that's really important, just because you could have an animal in your home and foster it, but if you're unable to bring it back and forth for its medical appointments, exams, or for socials, then it makes it difficult to get that animal adopted. Also, I forgot to add on the slide, but you do have to be live in the Doñana County area. Also, how could you foster with the Animal Service Center? It's pretty easy, just 3 simple things. You could fill out a foster care agreement and application, and then within 48 hours, I will contact the potential foster and set up an appointment. Once we have the appointment set up, I will go over the foster orientation and go over the foster program and what it entails. If they are approved, they could take a foster home that same day, or they could schedule an appointment for another day to pick up a foster animal.
Madam Chair,
Board Member Ellens?
how is the animal to be fostered selected?
So any animal in the animal service is available for foster. It just depends what the foster is able to take care of and what their house is able to handle.
So they walk through the center and select an animal?
Correct. I will take them on a tour throughout the facility. I'll show them all the animals in the facility, ones that are waiting their stray hold, ones that are available for adoption. Basically, any area in the center, the animal is available for foster. It just depends on what that foster is able to handle.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Ellens. Go ahead, Vanessa. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. What animals are available to foster? Anyone that needs transitional housing while awaiting permanent adoption or transfer to a rescue partner, having medical concerns or conditions that can be better addressed in a foster home, have behavior concerns that can potentially be rehabilitated in knowledgeable foster homes, animals too young to be spayed or neutered. Those would be animals under 8 weeks of age that need intensive care and bottle feeding or transitional from bottle feeding to normal food. And then as well as the nursing and bottle fed litters. How ASCMV helps foster parents to provide a positive outcome. We provide supplies and food that's appropriate for the foster. We provide resources to help guide the fosters in their foster experience. Our staff and myself, the foster coordinator, are available to answer any questions or concerns they may have, and we're available pretty much all the time. If there's any questions after hours, they could email us, and we can provide the answers the next day. You could bring your foster animal for medical exams if any concerns arises. We do have the medical team 7 days a week, so availability for appointments are always available. Providing opportunities to take fosters to off-site events and get them adopted. Another thing would be allowing them to go to rescues. All right. Some changes that have happened in the foster program. Before, the foster program was run by employees at the center, or a volunteer has helped part-time, aside from their full-time jobs. Now we have a full-time foster coordinator that's able to dedicate, and I'm able to dedicate all my time to the foster program. Also, I try to send fosters with foster kits while the supplies last. So cats and kittens, I provide food, toys, blankets, litter boxes, litter scoopers. When it comes to the bottle kittens, they do get supplied with the kitten formula, a heating disc to help keep their body temperatures at the temperature they're supposed to be, bottles, blankets, anything to help those kittens thrive and make it through to their adult life. Dogs and puppies, I provide food, toys, blankets, and treats. Unfortunately, if toys or treats aren't available, we do at least provide them with the food. Also, we did implement a new foster care agreement as of August 13th. And if you want, I could provide you guys with those foster agreements so then you can see the changes. In the your guys' copies, I did highlight things that we have improved, the wording, and or we added new bullet points. The foster care agreement has gone through with our lawyer and our veterinarian to make the changes that are needed. Also, I implemented a foster handbook. Before, it was just the fosters would get a foster agreement, and now we have a foster handbook that goes over the foster program and fostering and what it entails, what we expect from our fosters, what fosters should expect from us, supplies, and how to take care of a foster. But that's it. Do you guys have questions?
Thank you so much for coming and presenting and sharing what's been going on with you all. Board Member Candara.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much for your presentation, and thank you for your work. I know this is a huge load, especially with the number of changes. I know that the board has worked with Clint to put together with the new foster handbook, kind of the roles and responsibilities, right, of the foster, but also for yourself. So thank you for all that work. I know that's not easy. I wanted to ask, in terms of the foster care orientations, do you have them often, or is it only when someone says, I want to be a foster? I'm thinking, I'm not sure if you're familiar, I have a lot of experience in child welfare, so we had a foster program that we would do just orientations, right, that were scheduled once a month, and do a lot of advertising that they were happening, and that way, sort of building the list, if you will.
Yes. So when I started, we did have like a foster orientation, just one. And I had fosters come in, new fosters as well. But as of right now, when I have a potential foster, I give them individual orientations, so that way I could address any questions, concerns that they have, and then find the foster that's proper for their home. And I try to do it individualized, so that way they have an understanding of the foster program. But I will be working on having a group orientation, so that way if people aren't ready to foster the same day, they could just get the information needed and think about it and come back when they're ready.
So do you have a tool? Thank you for that. Do you have a tool that helps you and the potential foster, to match up the dogs and kittens?
Unfortunately, I do not, but what I go over with the fosters, I ask them how many animals they have at home, what type of animals they have, if they're vaccinated, if they're fixed, and then also what their home life is like, if they work, if they have kids, and then I try to help them figure out what would be best for their household.
And do you do an environmental screening, like actually go to the home and sort of see if there's enough room and it's tailored to an animal, if you will?
So currently, I do not, but in our foster care agreement, if it is needed, we are able to go in, of course, with the foster's approval and everything, to go look at their home and see how everything is and see what their capacity is allowed.
And tell me the number, again, remind me the number of fosters that you currently have?
Currently, right now, yesterday, do you want people or do you want animals in foster?
Both.
Both? 2 seconds. So I do know I have 120 animals in foster.
Okay.
And then I want to say it was about 66 active fosters that are currently fostering those 120 animals.
Okay, and none that are just sort of awaiting an animal at this point?
Yes, so there's plenty of people that have filled out foster applications, but unfortunately with the Shelter Love system, I'm not able to run a report of like active pending.
Sure.
I'm just able to pull a report of people that are willing to foster.
Okay.
And I do know that list is pretty long.
Yeah.
But I don't have an exact number.
Right. Okay, thank you again for your work and great presentation, and welcome. We'd love to see more of you.
Yes.
Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Board Member Flores, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to thank you. It was wonderful, and I'm glad you did that, the foster handbook.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Madam Chair, if I might.
Please.
Clint Thacker, Executive Director. The choice to be a foster is a very personal one, And a lot of times people will go online and they'll see an animal they like to foster, or the bigger one is we'll put a plea on Facebook. And we'll say, this animal needs foster. It might be injured, or it might be a mom with kittens. And so then somebody will reach out to Vanessa. So that's why we've kind of stepped away from the group sessions, and it's very much more of a personal one-on-one type of scenario, because we don't know what type of counseling that individual might need. Injured dog counseling for fostering is way different than a mom with kittens fostering. So I think Vanessa's doing an excellent job looking at and seeing each one. This is a one-on-one basis. I know it's hard. She gets calls. That's why we did the 48 hours, is because she gets calls all day long throughout, and sometimes throughout the night, et cetera. So I've had to tell her to turn her phone off. She needs to be able to stay as our coordinator and not get any compassion burnout. But there's also other means, while her phone's off, there's other means for medical treatment that we've set aside with on-call vet techs, things like that. So yes, she's doing an incredible job.
Thank you. Clint, thank you so much, Vanessa, again, for your presentation and for coming here and all the work that you're doing.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, did you have a question, Mary? Okay, are you sure? Okay, you're good. Thank you. Next up, we have the volunteer program update. So Yoli, please. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Yolanda Jurado. I am the volunteer coordinator at the ASCMV. All right, so here's our monthly September breakdown. We have 137 active volunteers, and by active, I mean they have been active within the last 3 months. We also contain 2 NMSU interns who help our medical staff, that means with surgery, or our vet technicians. 2 ACE student interns who are academic career exploring student interns, and of course, overall, we have 367 volunteers in the program. We have 84 volunteers who are specific to our dog walking team. That means they have completely successfully completed our dog walking training course with Claren, our volunteer, but also licensed dog trainer. We also have 25 volunteers in our cat care team, and they help us with our cat rooms, our stray cat rooms, and our adoptable cat rooms. So overall, for the month of September, we have 683 hours of volunteer time. Here are a couple changes to our volunteer application. We added some more programs that they can help us with, which is including, sorry, I'm a little nervous, this is the first time. Specific to TNR community outreach, off-site cat care at Petco, our photography team, which is growing a lot. Community outreach, which we're barely starting, but we've been present at the fair and handed out brochures and information that can help other individuals and the community know what the ASCMV does. And we've also added, towards the bottom, that the ASCMV is looking for volunteers who can commit to volunteering for at least 6 months, for at least 4 hours a month. We don't discourage anyone not to apply either way, but it's also in our handbook and it's also in our welcome letter. Next, on our volunteer agreement on our liability waiver, we did add, I do understand that the ASCMV reserves the right to deny an application without an explanation and reason. Next, additions and changes to our ASCMV volunteer handbook. We did add to our policy our social media outline, and that's just beware of what you're putting online. You are a volunteer at the center, and it's not a good idea to make us try and look bad when we are trying to help and do our best. And of course, our conflict resolution procedures, which was recently added to our handbook as well. And that just outlines the procedures that we'll take to be able to help the volunteer make changes to continue helping us, if not completely dismissing. So the process of becoming an ASCM volunteer, of course, your application is processed within about a week due time. Volunteers receive an email from me welcoming to the program. That email contains a welcome letter, our volunteer handbook, and our online orientation. From then, the volunteer will choose a tour date of the facility, which is typically a week or two before the next dog training class or workshop that they want to take. They'll, of course, get the days to the next dog walking course. Once the volunteer responds, they get added to my regular emailing list, and so on. They get notices of events, next classes, workshops for cat care, anything like that. This is what our online orientation looks like. These are just screenshots. It's just a little bit, it outlines the program, it goes through the handbook, gives all the information of what we provide in the program. Next, we recently separated our ASCMV Foster and Volunteer Facebook page. We now run our own volunteer page, and that just informs of the events, which makes it a little bit easier for them to select which events they can go to, but also keeps us up to date of any animal adoptions, any animals they've helped, events that we're doing that we went to, and just to keep updated with each other and make it personal one-on-one instead of everything being jumbled up with the foster page as well. Next is what we're working on and what we're doing. We currently hold a monthly group walk with all our dog walking volunteers. We do invite new members to come so they can get an inside look of what to expect. We have volunteers that attend Hacienda Grace Village and take a dog with them to help with pause therapy. Timid dog adoptability and enrichment. We have volunteers come in and focus one-on-one on timid dogs, fearful dogs. That way they can become more adoptable. And of course, adoptability and enrichment with long-term dogs and big dogs. We have hosted a volunteer camp. We're going to have one before the end of the year again. And something I personally work on is the Barn Cat program, which helps community cats that are not welcome back into their previous community to have a better environment that they can thrive in. What we're working on is play groups for the new center, cat photography and enrichment. We do a lot for dogs, so we want to start doing the same for cats and having it balanced and not just focusing on one. And of course, our outreach program. And lastly, here's venues that we've attended or going to attend for adoption events. And on the right side, you'll see our volunteer groups that have helped us throughout the year. Any questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming and presenting. Are there any questions from the board?
Thank you.
Seeing none? Oh, go ahead, Board Member Candera.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Really appreciate the work that you do. Very impressive, both of you. Actually, I think it's important, right, that we're as transparent as we can and knowing all the various programs in better detail has been really excellent for me. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you both for coming and presenting. Great job. What?
Yeah, thank you.
The PowerPoints were on point. I love it.
Great PowerPoints. Yeah, good job. Good job, y'all. We'll invite you back if you want to come. Thank you so much for presenting. And no, I mean, in general, we would love to have you here in the future. Thank you, though. Thank you. You don't have to come back today. All right, next up on our agenda are the committee reports. So I first turn to Board Member Enriquez, please.
Good morning, Chair and board members. We did have a Finance Committee meeting on this past Thursday, and there were really no issues on the reporting, and Mr. Liam Beasley from the Finance Department will be providing that report. But I also wanted to mention that we did continue the discussion on a reserve or fund balance at that time, and we'll continue to have those conversations until we come up with a good solution as to what we can present to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Liam Beasley. I'm a senior accountant in the city's finance department, and so I'll be going over the monthly financial report for September. On the first slide, we have the highlights for the statement of net position. Total cash in the general fund was $1,067,281. Receivables were $2,900. Resulting in total assets of $1,070,181. Liabilities were $114,804. Revenue collected in advance was $272,046. Unassigned fund balance was $683,331. For the change in net position, total revenues through September were $1,268,950. Total expenditures were $887,293, and that resulted in a net change of an increase of $381,657. Now for the budget to actual comparison for the change in net position. Total budgeted revenues were $4,151,375. The actual revenues through September made up 30.6% of the annual budget. And then moving down to expenditures, the total budget is $4,287,850, and the actuals through September were 20.7% of that budget. And then here is the month-to-month revenues and expenditures. And if you'll recall from the previous board meeting, the reason that the revenues dropped so drastically between July and August is due to the fact that the city and county both contribute 22% of their annual contribution in the first month, and then the remaining is spread out over the next 11 months. For the expenses, we had a $100,000 expense increase between August and September, and this is just due to salary and benefits because we had 3 pay periods post in the month of September, and normally there would just be 2 that post in a month. Then out of that $887,000 in expenditures, this is how it's broken down. We had salary at 55%, benefits at 19%, temp services 2%, repairs and maintenance 0.5%, services 14%, supplies 4%, insurance 5%, and then others at last 1%. Then as was discussed in the prior board meeting, they were discussing the fund balance policy of having that 1/12 reserve, and it was requested that we provide some numbers for the previous few years as to what that number would have been. So we have numbers going back to fiscal year 2015, and in the second column we have the budgeted expenditures for each of those years. And so the 1/12 reserve requirement would be calculated based off of those budgeted expenditures. Then we have the ending fund balance in the fourth column, and those are taken from audited numbers. And then in the final column, we have the fund balance minus the reserve. So the fourth column minus the third column, and that would tell you whether the fund balance was over the reserve or if it was under the reserve, if it was negative. And that concludes the financials, and I can stand for any questions.
Thank you very much, Liam. I appreciate it. Board Member Flores, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you so much, Liam. So the year-to-date salary on page 6 shows that it's 55%. And my experience since I've been, in public or whatever, public service, that pie section is always a lot higher than 55%. So my question is, why? Is it because there are unfilled positions, or why? I mean, I don't know what other question to ask, but the first thing that comes to my mind is it because there are unfilled positions? And if so, why? If you might shed some light on that.
Right.
Thank you, Liam.
Yes, ma'am. Board Member Flores, members of the board, I'm not sure as to why it would be maybe less of a percentage compared to previous fiscal years, but I can research into that and get back to you if you would like.
So
My
would you
sense
be?
is, oh, sorry. I was just going to say, my sense is often when we see this, the benefits are added in with the salary. And so that's why the pie appears more
That might be
split
an
up.
explanation, but I need to know, because I think that, I just want to make sure that all, because one of the things that I've seen throughout my experience here with City Hall, not the ASMB, but not the shelter service center, but just generally, the pie is always, bigger. And I just want to make sure, because my concern is that we are aware of the fact that there are a lot of unfilled positions in the city, and it remains a big mystery to council members, as to why. And if there's been allocations for positions, they should be filled. So thank you, Liam, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? All right, hearing none. Thank you, Liam. That's the end of the finance report, correct? All right, thank you. The executive report, I did meet with Clint on October 4th. We talked about what we could go over at this meeting and some of the outstanding questions that we have as far as upcoming meeting dates, as well as key issues that were happening in part. And we did cover a little bit of the facilities, but I'll leave it to Board Member Gandara to do that. So that's the executive report. Board Member Gandara, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We did not meet for facilities. I believe Clint was doing transport that day. Disneyland vacay. That's right, even better. Disneyland with the fam. Bam, bam. So we didn't have one and didn't schedule. I don't know if we can bring Clint up to maybe speak to facilities and where we're at with the new facility. I think would be in order. He does that anyway because we have our meetings so early in the month that by the time we meet, things sometimes drastically change or there's updates. So thank you, Clint.
Thank you very much. Clint Thacker, Executive Director. The new center is moving along really well. We have hit a rather large snag, however, and that is what has always been the snag is the manufacturing of the dog and cat kennels. In our meeting we had last Tuesday, the contractor said, listen, we're on our the inside of the building is pretty much done. The last phase that they're at is landscaping. And they said after landscaping, we can't pay somebody just to sit here. So in other words, they're going to lock the building up and because it's still their property until substantial completion. And that's what we've done until those cages come in. And we're talking the large dog kennel cages and also the cat cages inside the facility. I do want to talk and see with the contractor and also with the city if there's any way that we could move in because there's still the cat rooms. We have all the furniture is going to be coming in, all of the computers are going to be coming in. Everything's going to be there that we need except for the cages in just some of the areas. So we would like to get in there as soon as possible, but it doesn't look like we will because of the change of permissions and being inside a building that doesn't belong to the city and so on and so forth. But that's what we're waiting for. The building is beautiful. It's great to see, and there's a lot of room for us to grow and do the things that we want to do there. Some of the items in the existing center, and I have to be careful because I get this month and last month mixed up sometimes of what we're going to talk about. So I know we had some issues with some clogged drains that in one of the kennels, and we called Roto-Rooter in. They were able to get those unclogged. We believe we have a broken pipe down in one of the kennels, so that's going to cause some significant issues. If it is in fact broken, they're going to be putting a camera down to see for sure what that condition is. We have a lot of equipment that needs to be replaced, that's breaking. For instance, scales. Scales are very, very important at the center because we have medicine that we dose out according to weight. And some of these floor scales, these large floor scales that the dog gets on, they're around $300 or $400 each. We have to purchase some for the new center. So it's just a continual, stuff's wearing out. These scales were purchased a long time ago. So we're keeping an eye on those. Some other items is I contacted the city yesterday about moving forward on the pond relocation, the retention pond. So we're going to be getting that going, start up again. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Clint. Are there any questions from anyone on the board? I do have a quick question, Clint. Sorry. Did they give you any sense of when the cages might be arriving or could be arriving?
You don't want to know. Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
They're saying March. That's why you don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's pretty frustrating. The problem is there's only like 4 manufacturers that do, maybe 5 that do cages that are reputable and who you want to work with, big names in the industry. And so when they say they can't get some, you're kind of stuck. You can't. It's not like a cement, person. You can just go to the next cement truck in town and ask. So if I remember right, they may have already switched vendors a long time ago because the first one was like, no, we can't do that.
And then this one said they could, but probably actually can't.
Yeah, and another one is it may not be their fault. Steel is really hard to find right now. And all of those cages are all stainless steel. Fence work, all of that it all has some component that is backed up and hard to find. So.
Okay. Thank you. That's good to know. Board Member Flores, please.
Thank you. So is that under contract, and is the price locked in, or those variables insofar as prices and stuff?
That's a great question. Yeah, the price is locked in. If I remember right, they've already paid for a portion of it. And remember, it's not city that's paying for it, it's Jane's Corporation, the contractor who's paying for it.
Okay, well then I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important, no matter who is paying, because if there's been a designated amount, say Jane's, then I just want to make sure that we do get them.
And they're pushing them. They said we're sending an email every single day. They still have the completion date as the end of December. James is still saying that, the substantial completion date. So I don't understand how they're still saying that, but they still say that they hope they can get it done by then. And I think that's because they're supposed to. I think that's the contract.
I was going to say it's a contractual issue. So long as there's substantial performance, there's no breach. So that's what it is. Thank you, Clint. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We do want to know. It's depressing, but it's good to know. So, thank you. Okay, that brings to an end the reports and presentations section. If everyone on the board is all right, we will move on to our next discussion item, which is related to our regularly scheduled meeting on Thanksgiving morning. So, or ish, I think, is when our next month. So I'll meet you here for turkey breakfast. So I think, Clint, I know you had some insight or some ideas for what, because the next 2 months, the ASCMV board meeting falls on days that would be during holidays. So
is there anything that's urgent where we'd have to meet for those 2 months, or are we mandated by any?
The JPA states that we meet monthly. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we can meet via Zoom. Oh, man.
No.
So currently, the next board meeting is November 24th. Which was said is Thanksgiving, and then The 29th of December is the next one.
Which, I think the December one,
No, wait, I'm sorry, it's every third Thursday, right?
no, 4th. So it would
is
be the
29th.
22nd. No?
1, 2, oh, you are correct, I was wrong, 22nd.
So that one we can keep, the December one, correct? It's not. Well, that's the question to all. Do we want to? It's not, I don't think that the holiday break starts until the Friday, I think.
I can tell you, in years past, Madam Chair, they have changed both meetings.
So, and we also have, just as a note, a scheduled sort of strategic planning meeting on a Wednesday, on your calendars, I think, for Wednesday, November 30th, on a day that we could reserve here at the city, but that's a separate meeting for us to be getting together. So I sort of look to you all rescheduling both, so that would be something like the 17th and the 15th of November, if we went with the same day of the week and the same time.
17th of November and then the 15th of December?
Yes.
Yes, the 17th of November is just a week earlier, so it's the third Thursday.
Madam
Go
Chair.
ahead, please, Board Member Sanchez.
Just I don't know if I could float this idea with, if we're already going to have our meeting on the 30th, could we theoretically move, basically, instead of having a full meeting like this, the meeting in closed session or the work session that we're planning, that would take the place of our November meeting, and we would just meet on the 30th?
I don't think closed sessions work if we have to meet Monday or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that meeting would fulfill the requirements for having this every month. And also, just as a note, in the future JPA, we should probably build in some room for.
I believe. I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
No, please.
I was just going to say, I think that was one of the suggestions, I think, from Clint, was that we meet quarterly in the new JPA.
So that would give more flexibility. So I would say, I would ask if we could schedule, I would lean toward keeping the 22nd, but you said that LCPS will be off, so that creates some
LCPS,
conflict
I
for
believe
you.
the last day for LCPS is on December 16th.
Oh, okay.
For what it's worth.
Well then, both dates would be.
I mean, I think if you can make a quorum, that'd be
Yeah.
fine.
So I would actually ask if we could keep the December date of the 22nd and move the November date to the week before on the 17th. If that works for you all. I mean, as much as moving a meeting can possibly work in all of our schedules.
I won't be here on the 22nd for sure.
Okay. Well, if everyone will not be here on the 22nd, then we shouldn't plan for it. No.
You need 5 for a quorum?
4, right, Becky? 4 for a quorum.
I'm sure we could figure that one. With only 4, I think we could do it.
Okay. Well, let's,
Especially with
Madam Chair, it could also be that we don't need a quorum to have a meeting, you just need a quorum to make any decisions or.
action items.
Yeah, action items. So if we could just meet and we could do our presentations, just no action items as well.
I would like to keep that date then, the 22nd, but then move November to the 17th, if that's possible, which is just 3 weeks from now. So,
The only hiccup on the 17th, November the 17th, is the availability of this room, and we can work that out with the city.
okay, pending availability, if it is, and then if it's not, then we're in a, go ahead, Board Member Candra.
Madam Chair and Clint, I'm wondering if we can check now, because the last time we did this and went and left, this room was not available. And so I would like, before we leave this meeting, to see if there's the availability.
Eric is checking.
Eric's checking. Thank you, Eric.
And for what it's worth, on the 17th, I believe the commission chambers, I'd have to get verification, but if we need to, county commission chambers might be an option as well, because that will be, the planning and zoning will be meeting before on the 10th of November. And I think that's what held us up the last time, is this is usually, our meeting now is usually that second or the fourth Thursday, matches the same time as planning and zoning.
Okay. So while that's sort of being figured out, I would move on to the public input section, and we'll come back and revisit that and finalize it before we leave. So, public input, I hear, please, Jean, thank you.
I just want to say my apologies for presenting any inaccurate information. I know we were kind of scratching our heads when I used that figure, 70,000, and I admit I'm not good with numbers, but the number is actually 7. When I said remove a digit, I was right. 7,000 veterinarian shortage nationwide. And I Googled it to find out the reason, and the reason is lack of vet schools, along with the high cost of becoming a vet, maintaining a practice, and then, of course, many who incur that type of debt is, reasons to some people don't enter the field. So. And then I had a question for Gino. I know this is public input time, but in the city report, there were 414 cats trapped and 80 were released. I'm curious what happened to the 334, what their outcomes were. So if you could answer that, if that's okay, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean.
I just wanted to make sure that I have your question correct.
Okay. This is what you reported that were trapped, and then you said 80 were released.
Okay.
So I just wondered what happened to the other 334.
For the year?
I think this was in your general report with the numbers.
Okay. Madam Chair, members of the board, to answer Jean's question,
Thank you.
what she was looking at was the total number of cats that we have impounded. Sorry about that. The total number of cats that we've impounded for the year, which was 414. And the number that we have released was 81. Her question is what happened to the other 300 and, okay, quick.
60.
60. Those were all taken to the Animal Service Center.
So then they would have been represented in the intake.
Correct.
And outcome data related
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
ASCMB. Does that answer your question, Jean?
Yeah, I just have one more quick thing it isn't really in response to Gino's, but just that I wanted to say I was really happy to see the number of surgeries. We were talking about,
Thank you, Gino.
Joe saying, Mealy with broken promises, that what's or I don't want to say holding them up, but they could do more if there were more slots. I think that 400 number, I believe it was, Clint, that you reported was really good. I don't know what the peak is, what the highest we've ever done, but all things considered, I thought that was really good, so thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Gino. And I think sort of your questions and thinking about this, it's both heartening to hear the number. It's disheartening and also heartening to hear that we're struggling in the same way that people across the country are struggling with both way higher intakes and way fewer resources available for surgery. And I think we're committed to doing everything we can to remediate that in our own local jurisdiction, but also acknowledging the bigger structural issues that are continue to press on, I think, and be very disheartening overall. So, but thank you for providing that context. Any other public input questions? No, Jerry, Tina? Y'all are good? Okay, hearing no other public input. Are there any more concrete answers about the 17th, availability of the 17th?
Oh, yes, thank you. Madam Chair and Board, the 17th is available.
Okay.
The chambers are available from 9 a.m. to 12, normal meeting.
All right.
Even up to 5:30 if needed.
So let's book it till 5. No, I'm just kidding. Let's book it from 9 to 11, which I'm trying to shoot for at most times. So we'll thank you very much for looking that up and making that happen. So the upcoming meetings for November and December will be November 17th and December 22nd. So thank you. I'll expect a festive holiday fun on the 22nd.
Bring your ugly sweater.
Bring your ugly sweater with cats on. I really am
With
going to get
cats
an
on?
ugly
Okay.
sweater with cats on it because I have cats and I'm into that scene. Okay, next up, chair and board member comments. It is. I'm in for the challenge, yeah. Chair and board member comments. I will start off just very quickly. Thank you to everyone who presented here today, including the folks from the shelter and Jean, and it's been great to hear what all the extraordinary things that our community is doing, and then also the ways that the shelter is adapting and growing. I did want to just put one quick note out there. The Firefighters Union did create a calendar, and they are selling it right now to raise money for the ASCMV. I've already pre-ordered my 4 calendars for everyone to give to all the people I know. I hope you all will consider getting the calendars that include firefighters and dogs. I think only dogs. I don't know that there are any cats making appearances in this. Only dogs and firefighters for the shelter. They're available for pre-order online, and then next Wednesday at Andale's Doghouse, they're actually having a launch event where firefighters will be doing the serving of the food and drinks at Andale's and giving out the calendars. So, what? At the Doghouse.
At
yes.
the Doghouse?
It's at, I think it's around dinner time, 6-ish. I'll look really quickly, but
5?
yes.
So that's next Wednesday.
5 p.m.
Yes, the November 2nd. And I can send you to the link so that you can sign up if you want to. I'll send you the link. But generally speaking, I hope to see people there. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's all the comments that I have for today. I look down the board to see any additional comments. Board Member Sanchez?
I'm good, thank you, Madam Chair.
Board Member Gandara?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to say that the stats this month are real staggering with the population creeping up. Gosh, I can't even remember, maybe early on when I first became a member of this board that we saw those kinds of stats. And so I'd like for us to really think about some strategies on how we can reduce that. I think a lot of it is around educating our community, continuing with some of the programming that we have done, microchip vaccinations, spade and neuter, and just educating the community about how important it is to be a responsible pet owner. I know that many of our 2 ACOs, respectively from the city and the county, have been down with vacancies, and I know that we put a lot of pressure and a lot of onus on you, responsibility to educate the public. But I think I'd like to see a huge lift from the center in educating, maybe getting our ad agency out here looking at what we could possibly do to do that. And I am very, I'm challenged with that. It has sat very differently today for me, and I think we really need to, as a board, look at what we might do to really reduce that. And then I'd like to wish our Vice Chair, Manny Sanchez, a happy birthday. So please join me in wishing him a happy birthday. Sorry, Manny, I had to do it. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Gandara, and happy birthday. Happy birthday, Board Member Sanchez. I would have given you a harder time had I known that earlier, so probably good we just found out. Board Member Ellens, please. Nothing, Board Member Flores?
Estas son las mañanitas que cantaba el rey David. A los muchachos bonitos te las mandamos a ti. Happy birthday, Manny.
Okay.
Thank you.
I won't charge for that. But yeah, I too was, I always, and every time I see Jean, I think of cats, I think of animals that, are out there. I look at my own little dog, and I think that it's maybe has been said before, it's nothing new. I think that animals humanize us. I think that, they bring out the most tender feelings. Frankly, I like them better than I like some humans. But I just want to thank everybody at the Animal Service Center and for working so hard, and everyone in the audience who is here who has worked very hard at making our community very humane by caring about our animals. And thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Flores. Board Member Enriquez.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and happy birthday, Commissioner Sanchez. No, I'm not going to sing, because I will have to charge him. Just joking. No, I wanted to bring up an item that has been pending and outstanding is the TNR handbook that we've been working on. The subcommittee provided a lot of input on that, and we want to meet with them on Tuesday. We're going to have a meeting. Mr. Thacker has done some research on what is most current and best practices. So what we want to do is have a meeting and combine those so that we can come up with a good product, a good handbook, with the intent to finalize it here soon and get something that's going to work out for this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Enriquez. Board Member Ward.
Yes, thank you. Happy birthday. Just real quick, I think it is, I'm glad you talked about the educational outreach. It is important. I know the county has done a few more educational outreach events, including picking up the community sweeps that we have started back in, where we have partnered with our codes department and gone into the communities and educated the communities out there with resources like we did with the ACES project, as well as going into like the fair and whatnot for educational outreach. Going into the new ordinance, that's going to be something that's we're going to highlight and really target, because the outreach is going to be important in regards to that. So you'll be seeing a lot of that in a lot more so with that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Any other comments from the board? Anyone here? Seeing none. Again, just to follow up, the November 17th, December 22nd, the calendar release party. I still don't know what time of day it is, but I think it's at
5.
5. It's at 5 at Andale's Doghouse.
Are you sure? I thought I heard 6:30. No? 5? Okay.
No, 5. Yes, it starts at 5. So.
Madam Chair, if I may, Clint Thacker, I just want to caution that I believe this was a private party and you had to buy tickets to get in, and most of them are sold out. So I just want to be sure nobody shows up hoping to see firefighters and get served. And just so you know, I am not in the calendar, so if you need to return the calendars, I understand.
Thank you for that clarification. It is a private event, but it looks like tickets are still available from their website right now, so if you want to go. So I did, yes. All right, hearing no other inputs, thank you for that clarification. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second by Flores.
Moved by Board Member Sanchez, second by Board Member Flores. Becky, please.
Board Member Flores?
Yes.
Board Member Gondara?
Yes.
Board Member Ellens?
Yes.
Board Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Chair Karan?
Yes. We are adjourned.